Alright, so this is the next week in ecology. For this week we're going to be focusing on the stats. You can find all this stuff in the lab manual back in Appendix 1. So we're going to focus on first just figuring out how to calculate the means. I know we did this last week a little bit with some of the examples, but here you can see the formula for how to calculate a mean, or X bar. X bar is another way to say mean of the population. Looks really complicated, but it's not. So all it is you calculate the sums of all of your samples, and then divide that by the total number of samples. So here's an example. We have our samples 5, 4, 3, 2, 9, 5, 7. Add all those up, that's 35. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 samples. And so you take that 35 divided by 7, and it gives you 5. That is the mean of this population, whatever we're measuring, right? So it is 5. Figuring out the variance of that, you can use this equation or the equation that we used last time. So the equation we used last time is kind of like a shorthand equation where you take n over n minus 1 and multiply that times x squared, so the sum of all your samples squared, minus your mean squared. So you put all that together, multiply it by that number, and you'll get what you have. Or else you can do it this way. So for this one, we're talking about your sample minus the mean and square that. And you're going to add all of those up. And then you take it over your sample minus 1. So what that would look like if we're using this same example, our mean is 5. So 5 minus 5 is 0. 5 minus 4 is 1. If you square 1, you get 1, because 1 times 1 is 1, right? Next one, 3, 5, that's 2. You square 2 times 2 is 4. Here you have 3. That gives you 9. Here we have 4, 16. 5 minus 5 again is 0. And then 5 and 7 is 2, which gives you 4. That gives you this total number up here. That sum is going to be 36. Then you go ahead and divide that by your n minus 1, which is 6, to give you a total of 6. And then to do the standard deviation, you're just going to take the square root of your variance to end up with just s. So it's just another way to show variance. And so here we have your x bar is not 2.5. That's 5. This is 6. And then the square root of 6 is 2.45. So in your quizzes and tests, I want you to be able to do these to figure out the mean, the variance, and the standard deviation in samples. So here we have some practice samples. Definitely know how to calculate your mean, standard deviation, and variance. Know the formulas, especially for means. I may give you the formula for the standard deviation and the variance. And then know what the symbols are. So x bar is the mean, s squared is your variance, and s is the standard deviation. And then, of course, be able to calculate those given different data sets. In this next video, we're going to talk about hypothesis testing. It really is the best thing about stats.